Hey guys, it's Meg and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be setting up the first few pages in an academic planner, so let's grab our essentials and let's just get into it. So this journal is actually a custom journal that I'm creating for somebody who is going to be starting university, so it is an academic planner as it's going to be set from September 2022 to July/August 2023. So here I'm just starting off with creating the cover. The person whose journal it is gave a few suggestions as to what they might like, and they suggested a ring with floral stuff going on around the dates that the journal will extend from. So as you can see, I've got a circle of leaves and flowers going around the date in the middle, and as you can also probably see, I have done the pencil underneath. I'm not just going straight in with the pen. For this one I used a compass to draw a simple circle, and then I just started adding on leaves and flowers randomly, although I am keeping all of the leaves going in the same direction to create a nice circular movement going around the numbers in the middle. I also chose to do this serif style font as I thought it went well with the flowers and the pretty look that we've got going on here. So once again I did this in pencil underneath. A good tip to start off is to draw yourself some little boxes so that you can make sure the numbers are going to be the same height and width, and this just gives a nice uniformed look. I also suggest drawing out the number itself just in regular font and then adding on the wider sections at the tip and the bottom and on both of the sides. I'm then using a thin fine liner to do the outline first and then a thicker fine liner to colour them in. Because the numbers are quite thin and delicate, it was easier for me to use a fine liner here as opposed to a marker pen. Then I'm using the Tombow dual brush pens to colour these in. I really like colouring with brush pens. I don't do it that often, but for something quite delicate, the brush pens have a small tip which helps get those tiny little details. Although depending on the look you're going for, you could leave it in black and white, you could do more realistic colours, darker greens and natural colours, but I'm going with this pastel, nice bright colour. I feel like it really works with offsetting those black numbers in the middle, and I just think it looks pretty. So now that we've got the cover page all complete, I'm going to start setting up the future log. So this has been inspired by Amanda H. Lee, and I'm going to be creating the tab style effect on the pages so that you'll be able to see the title across the top, and then you will have smaller pages through the middle, almost like a Dutch door, with little tabs on the side so you can flick through the different months. The basis of a future log is to show you the year at a glance, so you can see as I've got here, the months are going to have a small panel each with a mini calendar and then space for any key dates that you would like to fill in and be able to see at the start of your journal. Whenever I'm creating a journal, I always like the initial yearly pages to be in keeping within the same theme, so I'm just adding some of the floral decorations in the bottom corner, and I will also add some in the top right hand corner of the back page, which you will see in a minute, so this whole spread ties together with our cover page. I'm then just writing in the key dates, so there will be a section at the bottom of each month for the key dates to be filled in, and as this is an academic journal, this might be used for exam deadlines, coursework hand-ins, that sort of thing, so you can keep on top of your schoolwork but have it all looking nice and aesthetic in the front of your journal. Then once again I'm just colouring in our little doodle down at the bottom, and I think this angle really shows how easy it is to colour in the tiny little details with these brush pens. So I highly recommend, and I'll link them down below if I can find the link. So as much as I love a future log, there is the problem of the mini calendars, which is a very tedious process. I highly recommend you pencil this out first so that you can double check with your calendar on your phone or a physical calendar if you have one. Make sure all of the days line up, you've got the correct numbers, you've not missed any. And when you start to add the pen, make sure you're using the smallest fine liner you've got. I'm using a 0.05. And maybe take a break every now and again, because sometimes writing out the same numbers over and over again in such tiny writing can make you go a little bit crazy. So just take a break and refresh yourself, and make sure you check which number you should be writing before you start writing it. So turning over now and setting up the next page, there will be 3 double page spreads used in total, as we're going to be having 12 months and 4 months on each page. So I'm just setting it up exactly how I did on the first page, using the same measurements, the same layout, the same spacings, the same fonts, all of that kind of stuff, so it looks really cohesive once you've got the tabs cut and you can flick through the pages. For the titles, I've just drawn a green line underneath and then put the pen on top. This means you then don't need to worry about any smudging, and it just adds a little bit of the colour into this quite plain spread. But because there's quite a lot going on with all of the little numbers, the calendars, etc., I didn't want to add too much decoration to the monthly future logs themselves, so I'm just keeping it really minimalist and clean, so it's easy to use, easy to look at, and you can see each month at a glance. And don't forget, if you're not setting up an academic calendar and you might be watching this later in the year, you can always use this exact same setup for a January to December journal instead. Now we are on the back page of the future log, so I'm just adding in some more decoration. We've got some more flower and leaf doodles down at the bottom, and I'm also writing log so that we've got future on one side, log on the other, and when the tabs are cut you can read future log across both pages for the title of this spread. Then I'm just adding in a little bit more decoration in the top right hand corner, rubbing out all the pencil marks, and of course colouring in with my Tombow brush pens once again. And now we're on to the exciting bit, which is making the tabs. So I've measured the line going down the right hand side of the page and divided that into 3. I'll then be drawing a little tab shape on each of the pages, so the top one will be on the first page, the middle one will be on the second page, and the third one will be on the back page, which we will not be cutting, so just remember that. I'm doing the colouring first and then doing the pen to go around the outside afterwards, just so you don't have to worry about going out of the lines, as you'll then be cutting around this bit, so if any of the colour goes outside of the lines you can just cut it out and no problems there. Once you finish drawing your tabs, you need to grab some scissors and start cutting out each of the pages. So as I said before, you're only going to be cutting out the right hand page on the first page of the spread and the second page, not the back page, as that will stay in place. So just start cutting around the lines you've drawn for the spread, and of course make sure you cut out the little tab, as that's what you'll be using to flick through the pages. Just a reminder to be careful when you are cutting towards the middle of the book where the pages meet, just because you don't want to mess up the binding of the book or anything. So I used a bigger pair of scissors for all of this cutting, and then for the tiny bit of paper I left at the centre of the book, I used a really small pair of nail scissors to help me get close to the inside of the book without making any mistakes and being sure not to mess with the binding of the book. Now feel free to carry on watching me cut out the tabs, or you can skip to the time on the screen to see the finished result. And that is our initial pages of this academic planner all complete. I think the future log looks great. I love these little tabs. I of course coloured in the tabs on both sides so that when you flick through it's nice and coloured on the other side as well. And all the decoration ties in so well with the front cover, so I'm really happy with how it looks. I also decided to add on a little bit more decoration on the cover page, just as I thought, having decorated the future log, we could have a little bit more decoration on the cover too to help tie it all together, and I'm really happy with how it looks now, and I hope the person whose journal it is going to love it. But thank you all so much for watching. Special thanks goes to this week's subscriber shout out, Lemon. Thank you for all your support, Lemon, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified next time I upload, and I'll see you in the next one.